can see, I've gone for a green screen. Who knows, it may become the new way to go. What I wanted to talk today about was anxiety. I seem to see a lot of people, maybe it's the current climate, maybe it's all to do with the COVID stuff, but a lot of people experiencing anxiety. And I guess the first thing I want to talk about is that for me, it's important that people understand that anxiety is normal. We all have it. It's there for a purpose. It's not that we're broken. It's not that something's wrong with us. Basically, it's the case that our anxiety is maybe too much, too big, too often for the circumstances we find ourselves in. So really what we need to be thinking about is, first and foremost, anxiety is a normal thing for us to encounter. And by that, it means if you were to go back millions of years, well, maybe not millions, but if you went back and had a little look, when we were out there hunting and gathering and finding our food and dealing with predators and things that could eat us, then anxiety is a really useful thing because it's part of that whole fight and flight. It's what keeps us safe. So when we're out there and you hear a rustle in the forest and you think, is it a bear, is it a saber-tooth, or is it something I could hunt and that I could eat? Then that anxiety is useful because what it does is it puts adrenaline into our body and gets us ready for all that activity. And it also puts other chemicals into our brain, cortisol and things like that, that actually help us kind of be more focused in order to keep us safe. Now, the only problem that you, I, and lots of people have is that when that anxiety kicks in for us today, in the 21st century, we actually don't have bears and saber-toothed tigers to deal with. We haven't got anything to run away from. So really the focus when we're looking at anxiety is firstly to realize, is it reasonable? Should we actually be feeling the way we are? And to be fair, once we get our heads around that, then we can decide if it's not reasonable. If it's a reaction that's too big, too often, then we can decide what we're going to do about it. And we'll probably do another brain bubble on what we do about it and how we do about it. But I'd really encourage you to look and go, is this a fair and reasonable thing for me to be anxious about? And in the current climate, with the whole COVID-19 virus thing for people to worry about, it's reasonable and fair for us to be concerned about our well-being and the well-being of our family and friends. That doesn't mean, however, that it should dominate our life and stop us from being able to do things we want. So I'd encourage you to ask yourself that question. If it's not fair and reasonable for the circumstance you find yourself in, then reach out. I said to you in our very first one, please reach out. Don't feel that you can't. Nothing to be ashamed of. Reach out. Go to your doctor. Talk to a friend. If you have a psychologist that you're working with, explain to them how you're feeling. In the next brain bubble, we'll spend a bit of time and we'll think about how we can cope with that anxiety. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.